Morning. So I'm doing my blood test for day 5 post-surgery. I'll tell you more in a minute. Apparently I'm the only one waiting at the moment because it is after 9 o'clock. So I had weird unexpected news. I got two calls back to back while I was at the store today. Before that, I had a bit of an interesting morning. I had my bloods to see how my estrogen levels are going with the medication to bring them down to the normal levels. So the plan was to do that early. Yesterday afternoon, I ended up having a little bit of a scratchy throat. And I told Chad about it. He's like, why don't you get tested? And I was just like, but to get the results back, that's at least 24 to 48 hours. And then we're like, okay, I could do a rapid test for COVID just to make sure before going into the clinic. But then by then it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And all the places near us were kind of sold out, except for apparently Chad found one at Woolies which is just a grocery store. The one nearest our house. The pharmacy didn't have any, but Woolworths did. Woolworths did. And so I kind of had to postpone doing... Usually I leave the house at 7:30 for 8 o'clock bloods. Because I was then meeting my dad afterwards. But the store opened at 8 o'clock, so I then had to leave after that. I did the test in the car park. It was clear. I really didn't think I was. It was more my girlfriend's pregnant. Her dad is going through chemo. I was seeing my parents. And if I went to the IVF clinic being positive, I just couldn't imagine, because they would like call that a hotspot and potentially close it down. It could be a real drama. And I would hate to be that barrier for anyone else. So what I think I worked out, this is a sidebar, is that I wore the same mask yesterday that I did today, and I started getting the scratchy voice again. So I'm wondering if I washed it with something else, or for some reason me inhaling the detergent I was using that way, like skin, it's fine, but then I don't know. But I think I've worked out it was actually that particular mask that's given me a bit of issues, so I'm changing out my masks. Anyway, so this morning's blood test, fine. Caught up with my dad, then caught up to do some shopping to get ready for my niece's first birthday. And actually Chad called me just to say hi. And then the call from the clinic or the embryologist came through. So I picked up. It's day 5. They're like, look, we're sorry. None of the other embryos have made it. One is like at a day 3. We'll keep them at day 3. A 3-cell, which is not really good or growth or anything like that. So she's like, unless something crazy happens tomorrow, we can't really anticipating any others being freezable. Do you want us to call you either way? And I was like, no, just only call if for some crazy reason we end up freezing, like one miraculously doubles, triples overnight. Like it's not going to happen. So I was done, going to get ready to finish up shopping. Not even 5 minutes later, I get a call from the clinic again. And they were doing just post-op stuff and just double checking that everything's been good post-surgery. And just let me know that the blood results came back and they're down under 50, so they were at 39. And I think earlier on I said I was over 1400. I was 14,000. My level was 14,000, so that was about 8,000 for each follicle that was mature, like for each egg that was mature. Anyway, so it's back down to like 39. So that looks good. And I just confirmed, do I keep taking the meds or do I stop them? And they're like, no, keep finishing up. So I've got one or tonight and tomorrow to finish. So then I was like, I don't really know what to do going first. Do I just call day one of my cycle to get ready for transfer? And she's like, well, yes, but there's another option. I was like, okay, what's that? She was like, well, you're doing the bulk build cycle. She's like, that changes March 1st. I was like, yeah. She's like, she goes, you should think about doing another retrieval. And I was like, huh? She's like, well, pay bulk build for another retrieval. The frozen embryo will be there. And you can always do that later. But this way, you might be able to get more or better quality embryos, since we only had the one day 3 8-cell embryo. And like we might have some more that make it till day 5, or other things. So and who knows, I'm guessing they would probably still want to freeze and not transfer fresh. But again, I'd have to talk to the doctor going off of this round, because of the drugs they've given me. I seem to have avoided OHSS, which is great, but obviously my follicle count is greater, and who knows if they would give me like a lower dose to not quite produce as many, or keep me at the same, or I don't know what to expect. So yeah, we kind of got thrown this curveball, and I was just like, okay. She's like, you don't have to answer now. You've got time to think about it. But maybe just get back to us. So I was just like, can you just like ask Dr. Thompson to give us a call? And she was like, so he probably won't, but you'll probably get a call from the receptionist and set up a time to have a meeting with him. I was like, okay. So I kind of was like, whoa, thought about it. I just spoke to Chad briefly on the phone about it. We haven't made any formal decisions yet. We'll probably talk to at least the nurse and our doctor as well before making any final decisions. But well, we know that we're going to transfer that. We were always going to transfer any embryos that were able to do so. The plan was to do a double embryo transfer, and we only had one. So we know we've got permission to do 2. So even if we got one more from the next retrieval, that we could still probably get 2 in. If we had more, it would maybe give us options to see about transferring some and seeing if any make it further along to like day 5. The egg quality gonna be any better in a month? Sperm quality, I mean, you wouldn't think changed too much, but now that what I've noticed is because of the 2-year break, my body might respond a little different, a little quicker this time. Who knows if I'd even get like that many eggs, because like I said, that was kind of really surprising to me. Yeah, but I've got the drugs. I wouldn't have to pay for drugs again. The price would go from $1,200 plus day procedure stuff. Probably up to a minimum of 5 plus the other costs. So like the cost would dramatically change. And we would most likely have to do another retrieval anyway. And I'm not being pessimistic. I'm trying to just be a little bit more realistic. And the thing is that if we wait another couple of months, realistically, my eggs are getting older as well. Like, time is not really on my side. That's not to say that God couldn't do it. I just, yeah, the numbers aren't in my favor. And I don't want to preempt a loss, but the idea of headspace wise going into like waiting for a failed round, waiting for another loss, waiting for another miscarriage, and then having to go in and do it all over again, I think I would actually be in a much better mental space to do an extra retrieval now. And then even if we ended up with multiple embryos, we would transfer all of them later on. So yeah, and then the idea of if I did get pregnant, like we transferred and got pregnant, if we ever wanted siblings, which we would love to, it's just more time and money, right? To do this older, like even older than we are now, that thought is, yeah, kind of wild. So that's the decision. Like, well, it's not a decision, that's the choice, that's the options we have right now. So I think we both, Chad and I, are leaning towards let's go ahead and do another retrieval and then look about what we've got to transfer down the track. Yeah, not 100%. Still want to talk to the nurse, still want to talk to the doctor. But I think that might be our best option for now.